Before I start today's video, I'd like to remind everyone that I do have a coffee if you wish to support Ask Raccoon or the channel in general or just me in general. That would be much obliged, and I do appreciate your like and subscribe in advance. Hi everyone, how are you doing? Star Raccoon here, and it's time to ask a raccoon again. Today I've got a really great question from my friend Stitch the Fox that I'm going to answer. Now it's going to be a little lengthy, so let's get started. Stitch writes, "Hello there, I'm Stitch the Fox and I'm new to the furry fandom. Gapo. I have a brain injury and I'm a special needs person. I got my fursuit last year and I'm hoping to get another one." We all want another one. That's nothing new, Stitch. "I wanted to know, where did you get your fursuit? I really like it, and what is the best trash you've ever found as a raccoon? I'm going to subscribe to your YouTube channel, and I agree with you that you've been saying in your videos. Take care and stay safe, Stitch the Fox." Stitch, thank you for the question. Well, my suit was made by Fursuiting.com or Fursuits by Lacey, and you can go to her website. I'll post that below here as a graphic and in the description below for you, so you can go and look through her catalog. I definitely recommend Lacey. She's an absolute professional, and you can see as well as Star turned out. I'll even post up a graphic of the original reference sheet versus what I got. Absolutely recommend Lacey. Lovely. I can't say enough good things about her. The other part of your question is, what's the best trash I've ever found? This has got vitamin B. B for boxes, vitamin P for plastics, and the ever ubiquitous vitamin C for cans. This one's spicy. Really, Stitch, as a raccoon, sometimes you're just thankful to have trash to go through. We should always be thankful for what we have. Me and Stitch had a little bit of correspondence, so I'm going to also answer some of the other stuff that he said in his other questions to me. So let me get to those. I wrote Stitch back and I said, "Hey, I'd really like to see a picture of your fursuit that you have," since he said he had one. So I'm going to put up on Still Store here a picture of his fursuit. And there we go. Take a good look at it. It's a very cute suit, I think. And he said, "Here's a picture of my fursuit. I'm a fox." In one of my other videos, I also said something about how to zip yourself up if you're alone. And
zip. Now I'll turn around so you can see what I'm doing. I've never seen it. I don't mean that you can't.
And Stitch says, "Oh, by the way, I saw your idea and your trick about how to zip yourself up in a fursuit by yourself. I tried it and that works. Thanks for the tip. Saves me the time to do it myself." That's what we're here for, Stitch. You know, some of the things we've learned over the years, we definitely love to help other furries. So you're welcome for the tip. So Stitch also wrote me another letter, which I'm going to take a little bit of time to address and read. "Hey there, it's Stitch the Fox, and I was watching another furry guy by the name of Odin Wolf, and he did a video on looking up fursuits on eBay, and he said some of them are counterfeit. And I saw the one I bought, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so confused about my fursuit now. Like I said, I'm new to the fandom. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? Please let me know. Thanks, Stitch the Fox." Stitch, I'm not only going to point this to you, but I'm going to point this to anyone that has purchased a fursuit or a costume off the internet. And there are two sides to this story. So I'll take a moment to explain side one, which is the fandom side. I'll put it as the fandom side. The fandom side likes to see fandom artists or individual artisans that are on a commission basis or on a seamstress nature that will custom build a costume to your preference, to your liking, but also will not infringe on someone else's copyright. Just like Star is copyright of myself. I own the design, for lack of a better term. So if for some reason there were another furry raccoon that were purple that matched me almost exactly, theoretically, I could go up to them and say, hey, you need to change something. You look exactly like me. People might confuse us. The eBay side of things, or the internet side of things, which is counterintuitive to the fandom. Some people overseas and in other countries where copyright notices don't really work or are ignored for the most part might see a very popular furry YouTuber or a VTuber or a Twitch stream personality or a Popufur and take their design and turn it into a mass-produced mascot style fitted suit. And you sent me some photos that I'm going to put up of the interior of your head that make me do think it is a mass-produced model. Unfortunately, there is no simple answer here because I have to walk a line because I'm part of the fandom. There are people who act as gatekeepers within the fandom, meaning they feel extraordinarily protective of certain individuals. Personally, I don't care. It's a fursuit. If it's a costume, it is an expensive rug that you get to wear. And if you like it and you want to put it on in your own home or wear it to the park or wear like a bowling meet or wear it in public, as long as you're adhering to your local laws, I don't care. That's you. That's how you seek enjoyment. That's how you get you're happy. That's how you get your serotonin that everyone needs so badly right now. However, if you wear that to a convention, you might encounter gatekeepers. You might encounter people who say, you're not so-and-so. You borrowed that design. You stole that design. And you don't know anything because you're new to the fandom. You have no idea what these people are talking about. And then you start feeling just lower than dirt because these people can't keep from pointing fingers at you. And that's so sad. That's so sad that we can't just let furries be furries. And this is the part where I said I have to walk a line. To some extent, they're right. So if you bought a Star Raccoon off eBay, and you go around as Star Raccoon and you tell people you're me, again, I don't care. As long as you're not doing major like X-rated material and trying to pass yourself off as me, I'm pretty good with that. So I guess that's where I would draw the line, is if you started producing pornography on the internet as me, saying that you were me. However, if you just bought the suit and you were Stitch the Raccoon, I think that speaks enough for itself. I mean, we can't pretend that there are not 1,000 different variations on one fox design or 200 variations of a raccoon design. Again, I'm just going to go down to Stitch and to anyone else watching that has a costume that you bought off eBay or AliExpress or whatever. Yes, you bought a costume that was probably taken from someone else's design. That being said, your costume has enough variations to where you look similar, but this Mickey Mouse being confused for this Mickey Mouse is a little hard, don't you think? Yeah, they look similar, but deep down inside, we know which one's the real one. So I sent Stitch back an email saying I would answer this question on Ask a Raccoon that he just sent me that I just answered for you. So there you go. Stitch, thank you for the question. And he said, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to try to find another one just in case from a fur maker. I just don't know where to start. There's a website called Fur Affinity. I would suggest typing in the search question, Fursuit commissions open, and click date. Sort by date, newest to oldest. That might help you. There are several big makers out there. There are several little makers out there. And I'm not going to endorse any one of them. Well, I mean, obviously Lacey, but even then, I'm not going to endorse her because she may not be open right now. And this all falls stitched down to your preference, to your personal preference, what you enjoy the most. I would suggest you would go with one that has a proven track record of producing costumes, keep a good written record of all your emails to and from a fursuit maker, and really, sometimes the more you pay, the more it hurts the bank account. But also, I like to consider that insurance. I have been burned before by buying from a lesser fursuit maker that tried to take my money and run. So, Stitch, what I would suggest on your journey to finding yourself is, you mentioned at some point in one of our emails together that you wanted to get a reference made. That's where we start. That's really where you start, and sit down and think about what it is that you would look like as a cartoon character, or as a furry, or as an animal, and just go from there. This all comes down to what you like, Stitch, as personal preference. This is all make-believe. This is how we get our serotonin. This is how we have fun. People at... I'm going to take this off for a second because I feel like I should be honest here. People at football games, Stitch, put on body paint. And they put on face paint. They put on jerseys, much like this one. And they sit down at a football game, or they sit down at a hockey game, and they cheer on their favorite team, and that's how they get their happy. This is how we get our happy, by pretending to be animal people. And I'd really like to keep up with your journey. I'd really like to see what it is that you come up with. But again, I'm going to tell you, I really don't think there's anything wrong with buying a costume off eBay and that being your first costume and getting a feel for things. My first costume was a lion by the name of Nyota, who has since departed and now lives with someone else. That's a very fancy way of saying I sold the costume. And he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot about how to handle my fingers, how to handle my toes, how to handle my eyesight, my eye lines, gain confidence in walking with big padded feet. And again, there might be, if you wore that to a convention, if you wore your current fox suit to a convention, there might be people who come up to you and have issue with that. I can understand their argument that they see it as you may be parading around as another character. I think you may have purchased someone else's design. You may want to reach out to that furry, try to find their photo from the eBay auction that you found, and see if you can reverse Google search it to find out their name, and then contact them and apologize and say, hey, I bought this suit. I didn't know at the time that it was your design. I really apologize. What can I do to where I get to keep my suit that I bought, but I'm not blatantly offending you? And they might reach out to you and say, hey, just do this. It might be something as simple of wearing a badge that says a different name. It might be something as simple as making a public statement on an FA page and saying, hey, I bought this and I'm not so-and-so. It's an eBay suit. Just see what they say, if you can find them, and make it clear that there was no harm intended, that you're a starting fur and you just went on eBay and found a fursuit. You didn't know what you were buying. And here's the hard part. They don't have to accept your answer. They don't have to accept what is happening, but we have to live with what they say. So I really hope that helps, Stitch. Stitch, thank you for the question. I look forward to going through your trash later. Until next time, everyone, I'm Star Raccoon, and keep your stick on the ice.